Hi everybody, my name is Mr. Cook and I'm one of the 8th grade ELA and history teachers. I just wanted to talk a little bit about some things that are going to be different this year and show you a thing or two, but before that I wanted to introduce myself as a person. So, as I said, I'm Mr. Cook and this will be my second year with Arkansas Virtual Academy. Um, I think this is going to be a really good year. I like the way things are going a lot. I think this year is going to be a lot more interactive, a lot more social, and a lot more interesting for the students. And I think there's going to be a lot less responsibility on the learning coaches. Um, so hopefully they're a little happy about that as well. Um, let's see, something else about me is I really enjoy the outdoors. Anything that kind of just gets me into fresh air. So I enjoy hiking, hunting, fishing, swimming, um, sitting on my back porch to watch the sunset or look at the moon. Um, anything like that at all. I do have a 4-year-old son named Ezekiel. We call him Zeke for short. And here is a little picture of him. This is actually taken just a few weeks ago. We had a fishing day behind our house, and this isn't my house. We live in a neighborhood. Um, in front of our neighborhood is this little pond over here, and we were just fishing. We caught about maybe 8 to 10 of these little perch. Um, it was a really good day for us, I think. Um, let's see here. So something else about me is when I was younger, and I still am a big reader, so I'm a really big reader, but when I was younger, it was mostly fictional. Harry Potter, Artemis Fowl, really anything fantasy, adventure, mystery, I loved them all. Nowadays, my personal reading is pretty instructional. I read things like building an aquaponics system, and mini farming, self-sufficiency on a quarter acre. And of course, how could you forget extreme survival? It's a lot of fun. And I think that kind of stems from, like I said, just being a very outdoorsy person, and it kind of got me into building. I also really enjoy board games, riddles, and puzzles, and I just kind of wanted to show you a few of them. So I have, oh, maybe a dozen or so, just kind of little metal and wooden get the ring off style puzzles. I have two of these marble within a ball puzzles. Well, I guess it's more of a game than a puzzle, um, but it's a lot of fun. Then I have a can you undo the knot in the middle puzzle? And as you can see, there is not a gigantic knot. Um, I also enjoy things like chess solitaire or solitaire chess. I guess that's a whole lot of fun. And then just little things like not so fast dexterity game. But I think the biggest thing I've been into lately is Rubik's cubes, and it all started last Christmas when Santa Claus brought me this little Christmas themed Rubik's cube, and I just had so much fun learning how to solve it and playing with it that my collection's kind of expanded. I now have a standard color cube. This is probably the hardest cube. It is a Rubik's Cube Sudoku cube. Sudoku Rubik's Cube. I think I said that funky. It's currently not solved, as you can see, because my son decided to help me with the mixing process. So I have to get a pen and a paper out and solve it again. Because that one's not just colors, that's, numbers, and they have to go in specific places. These last two are probably my favorite and the ones I play with the most. This is a mirror cube, and as you can see, it doesn't have any colors. It's just really shiny. And when you mix it up, it starts to, all these rectangles start going in all of these crazy different directions. And what I like about Rubik's Cube the most is these shape mods look extremely complex and advanced. And I think when people see that, it's maybe a little bit intimidating, but they're actually not that hard. Um, and it gives me a lot of satisfaction, I guess, just knowing that I can take something like this that doesn't have any colors and is all crazy and turn it back to normal using the exact same information that it took to solve that. This next one is my favorite shape mod, actually. It has a name, but I always forget what it is. I just call it my triangle cube. Um, and this one also, it doesn't look too crazy until you start mixing it up. And then all these like triangles start poking out all over the place. Um, and it actually even takes a little bit of concentration just to be able to mix it up just because it turns different. So so that is something that I've been really into lately. Um, so that's a little bit me as about me as an individual. So now let me talk about ARVA in this year real quick. Um, Last year, students were expected to do all the lessons, all the units in the OLS for all the subjects. Um, which was hard, I think, and it was very time consuming. So this summer, we spent a lot of time figuring out where we can skip things, how we can reorder things to make things easier, to make them make more sense, to be more doable, because we also wanted to have more classroom connect time with you. Like I said, that's more engaging, more social, more interesting, and it takes less off the learning coach's plate. So, let me show you the math pacing guide. Um, so we have the week, the dates, and then of course the lessons that you're doing that week and any corresponding study island topics. Um, it's worth mentioning in the entire first quarter, there's only one math study island topic as opposed to 12 or so, I guess. And some of these weeks, most of them have 2 lessons for the entire week, 1 lesson for the entire week. Here's 2 more with only 1. Last year, it was 5 lessons for math every single week. Um, so as you can see, things are really, really different. And we don't always do all the units or all the lessons anymore. So it's very important to have these pacing guides available to you. So we're going to put them in your hand, and you just need to print them off and make sure that you're following them exactly. That way you get credit for what you're actually doing. Notice it goes Unit 1, 1, 2, 3, and then skips to 5 and 6. So doing Lesson 4 is not going to help you. And this is pretty straightforward. It gets a little bit more complicated in English, um, and that's what it looks like. Oh, excuse me. Um, we are severely, well, maybe not severely, we are reducing the number of lessons in gum, vocab, by a lot. And even literature is being reduced by a good number. So the typical pattern for language class is going to be reading about something and then writing about what you just read, with the occasional gum lesson or vocab lesson popped in there. Also notice we don't always start at Unit 1 and we don't always go in order, which may seem initially confusing, but just know we did it for a good reason, right? So this lesson is about adjectives and adverbs, and those are going to help you become a better writer in general, so you're going to becoming a better writer as you're writing. So that made a lot of sense to us, so we did that. And again, your OLS daily plan and weekly plan isn't going to have this, so you have to follow the pacing guides we provide. And the good news about gum and vocab, like I said, it's been severely reduced. In fact, there's many weeks where there's no gum, no vocab at all. No gum, and as you can see, this is just a little bit of gum. That's not too bad, but no vocab, and then it kind of switches to where there's not very much gum at all and just a little bit of vocabulary. So what we're really doing is focusing on the reading, and we are focusing on the writing, which is what you guys need. Here's something that I made to kind of help you out a little bit. I think it's important that you know exactly how many lessons you're doing in a week, the percentage that that's worth in the OLS, the number of lessons that you've done for the entire year up to any given point, and your expected progress. So let's just look at a random week, week 13. So week 13 rolls around, so let's say it's November 9th, maybe the 10th, and you need to know where you're supposed to be in comp in the OLS. So this week you're doing a single lesson, which is worth an additional 1.8%. You have up to this point done 24 lessons total, so you should be about 44% in the OLS actual progress. So this is your expected progress, and you should just be exactly where it says to be. So your actual and the expected that I have right here should always match up for you. And of course I have it for math and then all the other subjects as well. And I have added an attendance guide. Let me move my face. There we go. So we have hours in the OLS for this week. As you can see, this is 24 because of Labor Day, I believe. And then the accumulative hours, the same is true for PE, health, safety, and there's a good chance that there's going to be a technology course or something like that. And if that's the case, then there's going to be something else out here. So hopefully you now have a better understanding of who I am, the kind of things that I like, and an understanding of how important it is to follow these pacing guides exactly as we have it here, because this is what we're learning about, this is what we have found important, and it's what we're going to be teaching in our OLS lessons. I'm sorry, our Classroom Connect lessons. So have a good day, and I look forward to working with you guys. Thank you.